Hey, come on. Come on. What? Here we go, here we go, here we go now. Let's chit chat, this is the show now. Come on. Bad black mama's gonna let you know now. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Come on. Let's chit chat, let's chit chat, let's chit chat, sis. Hey, what's up? Let's chit chat, let's chit chat, let's chit chat, sis. Hey.
The reason why I wanted to, it's so many things going on in this world, Mel. So many things. That one thing that I wanted to really kind of talk about, because you're a podcaster too. You got to hit relevant topics and I don't know, stay relevant. You know what I mean? But this Nia Long and her fiance.
Oh my God, is that not crazy?
All I have to say is this, okay? And look, because you know what? I actually put a post out here, and let me say this much. Guess what? She's not the first person that has been cheated on, okay?
She ain't gonna be the first or the last.
She's not the first person that's been cheated on, okay?
And fine folks.
I think the biggest topic is because we all admit Nia Long is beautiful, okay? He's a nice looking man too, so he need to have his credit too. He's a nice looking man,
good.
okay?
He's my type. He's tall.
He's tall. He's very handsome, very handsome. But guess what? It's a disconnect somewhere. But I think that this whole topic has been exploited. I'm gonna say exploited because Nia Long and Adobe's been engaged for 10 years. Okay,
that's a long.
That's right there. Send me red flags. Okay, I'm not saying that you want to just run and get married like 2 months after you meet the person. No, I'm saying that 10 years. 10 years is a little lengthy. Okay, it's a little lengthy, and they have a 10-year-old son. Mika, how you doing,
Mika? I'm just acting crazy, but what up, girl?
So look, we talking about Nia Long and Adobe, her fiance. Okay, we're talking about the art of cheating. Okay, and how people put different tags on people cheating. Really, because she's so beautiful. I guess she's not supposed to be cheated on, but we already know. We already got Beyonce. We got, gosh, we can't even keep a list.
Halle Berry.
Halle Berry. Halle Berry is a serial cheater. Every person she met has cheated on her and abused her. I really feel like
people ain't good in bed. I'm just
sometimes you gotta identify yourself. I mean, I don't want to I never want to come on here and demonize women, but if you have a pattern of being in a relationship where everybody just keep cheating on you, sometimes you might have to self-discover something. You picking that same type of man, you know what I mean? Something is going on, you know what I mean? Because I don't think, she's messing with the guy from the Walking Dead now, and they look pretty happy, you know what I mean?
They look good.
Don't they look pretty happy?
My eyes look dark. Do I need concealer?
No, girl, you look.
Wait a minute, there's two. I see some crust on my face.
I got dark.
We talking about all the shit. So
look, you look beautiful.
Sure you ain't just telling me that because you love me? I feel like I see dark circles. Melly Mel.
I'm gonna say this, but Tamika, I don't know. And I don't know. We're gonna get into the topic in a second because I always said this to Mel. We're gonna stick to these short episodes because we're getting pretty good at it. But I'm gonna say this, Tamika, make sure you listen to Tracy episodes. Okay. You was one of the highlights. Okay. You was definitely one of the highlights. So okay, we talk about cheating and
it's just us three.
Yeah, Chauncey she may join, but we're gonna have a little party right now, and hopefully she won't miss out on the meat and potatoes of this. Okay, so
Lord, I didn't know it was recording. Okay.
You look me funny.
She's slow.
Okay, you slow. I'm slow too.
You gotta be
Tamika.
careful
Look,
when you say certain words. You gotta be like, she's just a little slow.
just a little.
I know that I can say that because I love you.
We
Good.
love
'Cause
each
I'm
other.
like,
We all
love.
sisters in love.
Yes.
You gotta be careful saying that too, Lord. So just let's go back to Nia Long, okay? I'm gonna tell y'all gotta be transparent and honest, okay? Because I'm always transparent. I ain't wink wink, but I'm always transparent. I try my best to be transparent and honest. So if you was Nia Long, okay, and I'm saying in every aspect, you are Nia Long, okay? You beautiful. We all are already beautiful, but we got money, lots of money, and we got this fine, handsome man, okay? And he been going to work cheating. He ain't even
I'm gonna kick his ass. No, I'm
He's
kidding.
he been going to work cheating, okay? Because this leads into my topic, and I'm going to ask everybody because here come Chauncey too. Okay, just to think, y'all, would that be a deal breaker for you?
I think for me, it would be almost a deal breaker because I'm sick of this motherfucker. Like, because you've been dealing with him for a minute, and that's not
10
new.
plus years.
Yeah, you've been dealing with that shit. I might think it will be a deal breaker. And I'm the
Tamika?
one that's gonna be like, hold on normally. But I think I'm gonna break that deal.
Tamika, would it be a deal breaker for you?
Well, as
To
my
be
friend-
honest, because maybe it won't. You know what I mean?
I mean, originally I would say yes. You know, everything a deal breaker for me at this age. So you can't really go by me. But it all depends. We don't know the full story. I mean, off the
point,
bat,
good
I'm
point.
saying no. Off the bat, no. But you know, I don't know all the details. And as someone said, you know, be careful what you say you won't do. Be like, I
Yeah,
never.
girl, be
do
careful what you
so.
say you won't do.
Don't do that, girl.
You'll find yourself slobbing down on them again, and then everybody else talking about you. Because look, you done went over there and told all your girlfriends about him, you leaving, and all kinds of stuff was going on. And then they see you 2 weeks later on Facebook with your picture at eating dinner, and you look so romantically in love. You know what I mean? Now you got to eat crow. Well, you ain't got to eat crow because I feel like this. You know, your business is your business. You don't have to care about what nobody thinks. So Chauncey,
We gonna eat crow, boo, together.
Chauncey, would it be a deal breaker?
I think I would say, like Tamika, it just depends on the situation. If it's like habitual,
Well, it is habitual because it's more than one person. So
it is more than one per. I hadn't
yeah.
heard.
What?
it.
Oh, I didn't get that
it's
information.
more than
I
one
wanna
person.
change my
One
answer.
person is the VP's
He's
wife,
done.
the other person is the staff person. Two
So
different
So
people.
then it's a no. It's a no. And then the worst part about it is, you know, what's the old saying? Never shit where you live.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
you
No
know,
shit where you eat,
same
Chauncey.
thing.
Same
Well,
thing.
Y'all know
Don't
what
do
I'm
it, girl. Look, don't do it.
I just feel like of all everything he has available to him, you were that lazy where you even did it at work. Like it couldn't get, you couldn't just go a little bit further. You're out of town on a regular basis. And who's to say that you don't have anything out of town, but God, at work. And
One
then,
of the people that he had an affair with, Chauncey, was making all of the travel arrangements for him and Nia.
and so that is just a disrespect on a whole
Disrespectful.
completely different level.
Mhm.
And it kind of feeds sometimes to that conversation. Can you make it work with someone so much younger than you? Because I think he's about 10, 12 years younger than her as well.
I think he's a few years younger. And
Um,
so I can speak to that. I want to say something that you guys probably don't know, because Kimmy, you've been married for a long time, and Chauncey, you've been married for a minute, and neither myself or Tamika have been married. Honestly, we accept different things. Tamika, are you gonna work with me on this?
Well, first of
When you
all, I didn't
say-
have all the information on the cheating, so I would like to change my answer. It's I'm going. She can make one more flight arrangement. Okay, she can make one more travel arrangement for one first
One
class.
more.
I'm going back to my
That's
place.
first.
But
Now,
then does it, yeah, and I'm sorry to cut you off, Tamika, but I mean, is that why they haven't gotten married in all this time? You with somebody for over
They
10
said that
years?
she said that to Chauncey, she was the one that was not ready to marry. Because you
Okay.
think about it, like you said, she has age on her. You know what I mean? So first and foremost, let's admit it. You think Nia Long desperate for anything?
She ain't desperate.
No, I
No.
don't think that's
And sometimes, you know what?
Oh,
Sometimes that could be intimidating to a man. You know what I mean? And I think that because she comes with the full package, with because she has age on it, that she's still beautiful and very seasoned. And like right now, she's not making no comments or anything. She might be getting a moving truck, but she's not making no comments or anything. Because think about it, she just moved there 3 weeks ago to Boston. She was not even living there. You see
Right.
what I'm saying? So you moved there and then you find out all this stuff. I hope you kept your place in LA, but you find out all this stuff. That's why I want to say, is this a deal breaker? And I wanted to talk about
It's a
this.
deal breaker.
Yeah.
It's definitely a deal breaker
To
because
me, it would be a deal breaker because
it would have to be
trust.
because
Yeah.
it's not even just about betraying trust, because we know that sometimes people work at it. We can't say that it's just a done deal.
Yeah, true.
Anytime there's infidelity, that's a betrayal of trust, right?
Yeah.
So we won't make it seem like that's really a deal breaker, right?
Right.
However, we were looking at houses together, and then you knew this story was going to come out. I did know that much.
Yeah.
He
Didn't know.
after she came there and they were looking for homes that this was coming out and he was going to get suspended or whatever the case may be. So you knew this was coming and you didn't warn her. That again is a whole nother level.
And then you
And
asking me to stay with
Chauncey
you
going
a
for
year
the
with no pay.
juggler.
And it's one thing that you don't know, and we both get blindsided. You know what you did, but you may not know that it's about to come to the forefront.
Mhm.
And even if it wasn't her and he just had a regular basketball wife,
Mhm.
the story still wouldn't be as big. But because it's her, that makes the story even more amplified. It's a lot harder to live down. And it would have to be.
So what about this? Okay, Nia is now, she finds out, she feels a certain way because, what I mean? You have to feel a little betrayed to the point where everybody is looking at you and like, girl, you the victim. I don't really think she's gonna take it as a victim because most people that have their own in some type of way, you could be hurt, but they got other moves sitting in the background. I could speak for myself. Try that mess on me, and you didn't knocked off the VP wife too. Because first and foremost, that's what really got you put on the front page of the paper. You know what I mean? It wasn't the staffer. Okay, and I'm just gonna keep it real. The staffer was the black lady. The white lady was the VP. The VP's wife, and that's when it went terribly wrong. So if you can't control your appetite, that's at work.
There's an
I
issue
have a
there.
feeling somebody else may come out because you are just a little bit not in control of
It's messy.
yeah, you just messy. You just messy.
That's
So
just
I mean,
messy.
I don't want to belabor the topic really, because we have talked about the topic about deal breakers. So I'm gonna start that off. Deal breaking for me is if you intentionally, let me use the word intentionally, deceive me,
Yep.
that's a deal breaker. You know what I mean?
Oh my God.
Because I say this much, everybody falls short. You see what I'm saying? Everybody falls short. But if you intentionally deceive me, like you got a whole damn plot going on back here, and you just waiting for me to find out.
Isn't infidelity intentionally?
Well, I'm gonna say this much. The reason why I say it's not, it may not be intentionally, because
Right.
sometimes it could be such strife in the marriage, you know what I mean, that people stray looking for affection
that's
somewhere
true.
else. Doesn't make it right, you know what I mean? But you didn't intentionally say, yo, I want to hook up with that one over there, and I'm gonna mess with that one over there, but I'm gonna make sure that I'm gonna do that when I'm here. You know, when I say tactfully plan, y'all gotta get, wait a minute, don't look like they're trying to, because y'all gotta give these men a lot of credit, because it be like Ludacris says, it be one in every city. You know what I mean? And I ain't gonna say the word because I hate that word, but it be one in every city. That's when I say intentionally gonna cause a lot of embarrassment to me. I think that if somebody is just unfaithful and if something happened and they got into an affair with somebody else, I think that we could probably look at the circumstance, because a lot of people are in situations now and their marriage is thriving because they had to get out their hole and come to the truth and light of what happened. But I think if you just intentionally want to be a dirty dog, you know what I mean? Because some people are just narcissistic. You're a dirty dog. You want to just have a collection. So that's one of my deal breakers. Chauncey, what is one of your deal breakers?
Violence.
What you say?
Oh, absolutely.
Violence.
Oh yeah,
Agree.
yeah.
Violence is the deal breaker. What you cannot do and what you will not do is put your hands on me.
Ooh,
And
yeah,
when you
girl.
do it, if you do it, because you know, sometimes it happens and you don't know what's coming,
Yeah.
that's it. That's a done deal. Because to me, if you do it once, you'll do it again. That's my deal
Yeah.
breaker.
That's a good one.
I
That's a
think-
good
I
one.
think
Anytime you know the
that
police guys
honestly-
show up, that used to be a question that I knew one of my friends used to ask when she started dating somebody. Has the police been to your house and, you know, for domestic violence in the last 2 or 3 years? You know what I mean? Don't take it as a joke, but I mean it. You know what I mean? Because sometimes
And-
somebody gonna get their
and-
story.
And not only that, but not just you or an ex. I have been in a situation where a significant other felt like they could fight their sibling as grown adults. And-
That's a deal breaker. You better run.
Because again, if you'll do it to her,
You're gonna
what
do
makes
it.
me think that you won't do it to me. And so, you know, they didn't do it while we were together, but it got close a few times. And I had to make that warning. If it's a done deal, it's a done deal for me. Because
That's a
that's the
good
one
one.
thing
Ooh.
I can deal with infidelity, but I can't deal with you putting your hands on me. That I won't do.
Okay,
I
Tamika,
agree.
deal breaker, done deal for you.
Well, as
We know this one.
as I said before, at this age, everything a deal breaker. But if
Oh.
I gotta pick, I'm gonna say, and this may be a little generic, but I'm gonna say a man who lacks integrity.
Yep.
If you lack integrity, I can't trust what you say. You're not honest. You're consistently inconsistent. You do one thing and another. I can't. I cannot do it because, like my grandmama and them say, if you lie, you cheat. If you cheat, you'll steal. If you steal, you will kill. If you kill, you will destroy. And you will not disturb my groove or my peace. Because it took me too long to get it back together piece by piece. So I can't do it. You what you will do when nobody looking, that's important. So I just can't.
Huge.
And-
That's huge. That is
And as
Yeah.
a bonus, at this age, what are we lying about? At this age, like, just tell me the truth. I might be with it. Just give me an opportunity. Just let me be able to make an
Let me
education.
be.
exactly. Tell the truth. Tell the truth. You know, I
Tell the
think that's a good
truth.
one too. Lying. I mean, I was married to somebody who was like that. So I'm just gonna say that. But I'm just gonna say that, you know, I'm glad my husband now is not a liar, because a liar, you know, what it did teach me is to always have my sixth sense up and
Mhm.
good listening skills, because I'm always gonna listen for that and or butt up in there. You know what I mean? Okay, all right, yeah, okay.
Or you
Now,
listen for the inconsistency.
the inconsistencies is always nobody. Look, unless you, I ain't gonna say that because some people are well trained. You know what I mean?
Well, yep.
Well trained. Mel,
Okay.
deal breaker for you.
Deal breakers for me are motherfuckers that just line up and say, "Oh, I'm gonna flatter you with whatever you think." Because a lot of times we tell guys, men, what we want or need before we even finish telling them what we want or need. And so they are like, "Oh, she need that. Oh, she's got daddy issues. or she got this issues, or mama issues, and family girl issues. I just want to be able to say, no, I don't want to do that. I need guys to just be like, okay. So for me, the ending is the beginning. Like Chauncey and Tamika said, no, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do this. And it's
I
going to be
agree.
information that I've said to you, because a lot of times we say right away when we talk to guys, we're telling them information, and I want to be able to say, like, no, I'm not going to do that. So anyway,
And telling information and not feeling like, as soon as you turn your back, they're gonna betray you and say do something.
yeah, it's betrayal.
behind your back.
Well, and see, I feel like, what Mel is saying is what I've always said, right? Yes, when you're mature, you can tell someone what you want and what you need, right? If
Mhm.
you're mature, right? It has nothing to do with age, but if you're mature. But a lot of us don't know what we want and what we need. And so,
100%, Chauncey.
but I also feel like you should know me as well as I know you.
Exactly.
So even sometimes you may not be all the way sure about what you need. If you're paying attention and we're in a relationship, sometimes you should be able to see what my needs are and
Are-
be able to attend to them. Not
That's
what
what-
your needs are or what
but-
you think my needs are.
But if
But-
is it a deal breaker if he doesn't understand?
No, it's not a deal breaker, but I'm saying
Okay.
that
Want
we
to
say
understand.
it, but we have to make sure that we're talking about us being mature enough to even know what they are ourselves. And so, because I see so many with that deal breaker, but then you confuse. You confused, so then no wonder that other person is confused. You don't know.
Of course, you got
Okay,
it.
so I'm gonna
You
say
lied
this
about that.
to both for Mel and Chauncey. Okay, you have your parameters, right? You already said, okay, this is what I'm not going to stand for. Tamika, you came back and you changed your answer. You all in. Now you find out that he has gone above and beyond, okay, to rectify the wrong. Okay, he rectifies the wrong.
He's still a buster.
Huh?
I'm just saying.
Okay, yeah, but I'm just saying he rectifies the wrong, and I don't know what it is for each one of us that's rectifying the wrong, but he rectifies the wrong, and y'all back together. Okay, you back together. You chose to be back together. Don't say you're not together. You back together. But this is a scenario, and he goes and he does it again.
He's a buster.
Well, because my
Uh-oh.
thing is that's why I said my deal breaker is the violence, because you
Yeah.
can get all of the help in the world that you need. We can be friends, but we won't any
I don't
longer.
think we can even be friends because I probably didn't excuse me up after you put your hands on me. We didn't. Look,
Well, see, I have
we
more of a
can't be
forgive-
friends. We cannot be
And see, I
friends.
have-
at
and
all.
that's-
That ass.
And I have a
When I
forgiving-
tell you we can't
I
be
have a
friends, I
forgiving
mean that we
spirit.
can't be friends. No.
I have a
When
forgiving.
I see you, you
spirit.
better cross
But-
the street. I'm telling
but-
you. I'm packing.
I'm not saying it's going to
But-
happen right away. I'm not saying it happens right away. But you just said if that person got help and that person did everything that they were supposed to do, for me, we wouldn't be back together anymore. But we
I
could
just
have.
was asking y'all because that would never be me. I
Oh shit.
was just
Well,
asking y'all.
Well, what I'm saying is that my deal breaker. So my
That's
question
the
to
deal
you
breaker.
is,
Chauncey standing by it. Y'all two
Is
didn't
this-
say nothing. Y'all was going along with
I
it.
said something. Don't do that. I
What'd you
said
say?
something. I'm
So-
done.
So what
Tamika?
now?
Would you
What
go?
now? So he lacked integrity, but he made up and he came back.
See,
That's
you
what
heard.
you're
See, I
saying.
told you it was no getting around. You was back, and you just was like, okay, all right.
I'm
See,
back
you-
in. Okay. And he do it again.
He
Yeah,
do it
I'm
again.
out. I'm out. My patience wick. At this age, I can't. If you caught me in my 20s or 30s, we might do a couple rounds. But at this age, I don't have the time. You can waste my money, waste my food, even my good baby back ribs, but do not don't waste my time. I can't. Yeah, no, I'm out. Cause now I look like a fool. Now you told me you was done, but now you will do it again, and you know how I feel. I'm out.
Okay, so I'm gonna change it up. Not a mate, but a friend. What's your deal breaker? A
For a
friend.
friend?
You talk about a mate. You talk about a friend. Your girlfriend. You may have a male friend that you're close to.
Well, again, I'm in
My deal
therapy
breaker?
for that, so I don't know if I could get an answer because
No.
I can't.
You leave it generic, okay?
I'm
Leave it,
trying.
you can leave
I
it.
have a
generic.
friend who is in an abusive relationship right now, and she is the only one who can deal with that. And I told her one day, I was like, if you tell me that he hit you, I'm gonna report his ass. And I just have been very ugly with her. And we're friends, but it's not a good situation. So it's a deal breaker for me. Like, this is what we're doing. I'm gonna do that to save your life. She might not feel that sensation or that way, but that's what I'm doing.
I think I really agree with that one because I think that in the long run, Mel, I think she'll appreciate you. You know
I
what I
think
mean?
she will. She sent me a message, this long as text message, probably as long as this thing that I'm looking at on our page. But I was just like, what the fuck? And I was like, she was like, I know you're scared, I know you're worried. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, girl, I ain't heard from you in 2 days. And I told you if you don't call me. And I think that's the kind of thing that will make you feel a certain kind of way. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Yeah.
males and females, we ain't never fuck.
Mm-hmm.
So you
When
mean
they
if a
just don't want to
friend did
listen to you. What you say?
Friends don't want to listen. It's unacceptable.
Because sometimes when you have a friend, and I actually had a friend like this before, that's not my deal breaker, but I'll tell you, I think I'm
It's a
just
deal breaker for me.
I think I'm just I don't know. I stay with situations too long sometimes and then I get out of it. But I had a friend like that, Mel, and she would not she had like all her whole plan put together. She was being abused by her spouse. She had the whole plan put together. Like she even incorporated me in the plan. You see what I'm saying? Like her
Wow.
escape plan, you know, and you take on a lot when you join in people's escape plan because, you know, you may be the end up the target. But I always felt like I needed to help her, you know what I mean? Because she was living a place and just like I was living a place, I didn't have family, you know, so I tried to stick in with her and I did it several times and it ended up going terribly wrong in the fact that she kind of stopped talking to me because I guess she was more ashamed because she went back to him, kept going back to him, and
Yep.
I kind of started talking in a generic tone to her. You know what I mean? Because I can't be involved too much with that, and you know I'm raising kids and stuff like that. I just can't. You know what I mean? But so yeah, I went several times before I just you know kind of like never pushed the issue again because when she backed away, that was my easy exit, you know, out. I think my big deal breaker with friends is if you intentionally like are deceitful. I'm going right back to the same thing again, where I say intentionally deceitful, like you are intentionally going behind my back and you are talking about me, even doing things to take things away from me. I think that I couldn't stick around. You know what I mean? At all. I think that's really my deal breaker. If I know that you're just intentionally trying to be harmful to me. And I'm not talking about physically because people mouth and what they say can be just as harmful as somebody coming up and wanting to fight you. But that would be a deal breaker with me. I think because in my course of my life, you know, I really have the same circle of friends. Like I mean, Mel, Chauncey, and Tamika. You're my friend too. But the people who are not my friends anymore, um, because of that simple thing, you know what I mean? That
Right.
underhanded, backhanded, like I'll give you an example, and I'm sure Chauncey and Mel know this. I had a beautiful shop when I lived in Virginia, and the people
Yep.
who started off as my friend, you see what I'm saying? Once they all automatically assumed that I was making all this glue glob of money. So that's when the
Yes, we
back
did.
stuff started. Yeah. Little do they know is that me and my husband, then we know when you building a brand new business like that, and I mean, talking about a storefront, when I say major sacrifice, major sacrifice, you know what I mean? The saving grace me and my husband had is that both of us can work together. We can do anything in the interior. So once you start to see the fruits of our labor, you know, it was like blatant intentional sabotage to people that was working there. You know what I mean? Even to the point where I had this person, like, I was trying to help them and gave them a part-time job at my front desk. Soon as I walked away, was going amongst the workers and saying all kind of terrible stuff. So once that happened, it was like everybody was on a deceit mode. You know what I mean? And it was never going to be any kumbaya. It was basically, I had to wipe the whole thing out. You see what I'm saying? So
Shout out to Keith. I want to
Huh?
say that. Shout out to Keith.
yeah.
I got videos
always-
of him dancing
I always
in
give my
the
husband a lot of
regular
credit.
wrong way.
Like if he knew how to round brush, I would have taught him that. I actually taught him. I would have taught him that because he would have been more loyal than faithful. But that was a big one. That was a big one. All right, Chauncey, friends.
So, can I say that I have been blessed and fortunate enough that I have never had a falling out with a friend?
You are blessed.
Nothing detrimental. What I have had is there are friends who have come into my life who are just no longer in my life, but it wasn't because we had this knockdown, drag out fight or betrayal or anything of that nature. I don't know why, but I just have not had that. Now, like I said, I've had some friends that have come and gone. I have friends that have returned that I had not seen for a long time. And then, you know, that season ended and then we wind up getting another season, but never have I had that. So that is definitely a hard question for me to answer simply
That's
because
okay. You're blessed and I have to answer that question.
yeah,
No, I'll
yeah.
be honest with you.
I'm fortunate in that aspect.
I'm
And
like that to
like
be-
you just said, so many friends that I've had since I was yay high to a peanut.
Since we were
So,
kids. Yeah. Tamika, what you over there writing? You writing a list?
can't say that about no man, but I could say that about my
I
friend.
know that's right. Yeah, I got a whole bunch of bullet points. No, no. Tamika.
No, I am, you know, I'm
I
in a
love her
position
voice.
where
I do
it-
too.
you know, I'm kind of stuck because I'm kind of in this transition where sometimes I overstay my welcome and I stay friends with people I should have let go a long time ago
Oh.
for reasons that were mentioned, you know,
Mhm.
backbiting, talking about me, but you smiling in my face. I welcome you into my home and, you know, you talking about me to my guests, just crazy stuff. And then there's been people where I may have kind of thrown in the towel too soon. And so I'm trying to kind of reevaluate like my deal breakers. And it's interesting because I saw a friend who, you know, calls me sister and all of this. And I saw them over the weekend. And I was mad at them because when my nephew passed away, I never heard from them. You know, they whole family knew. I know they knew, like they didn't call, they nothing, no card, no call, just nothing. And this is somebody I've known my entire life. But I said, you know, when I see them, I'm just going to say hello. I'm not going to be, but I saw them and I did not speak. I was just angry. And I just did like a hello, but I just didn't speak. I saw them afterwards and I didn't. And I really thought about that, like, and I kind of heard my father with the killing with kindness type of thing. And I realized you can still be kind to people who are unkind to you, and you can still be kind and you don't have to be somebody's friend. So
let me say this much, and I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I know you're evaluating that friendship. I'm always gonna say this much because this is what my grandma used to tell me. Never ever, when you see your friend not do right by you, you still don't know what's going on in the back end with them. You see what I'm saying?
No, that's right.
So
Well,
I come to
also-
her house and eat every
yeah,
day.
yes, and some things, and I had to learn this in life because, you know, I was like that, like you, Tamika. I just, you know, I wouldn't cop an attitude or anything like you do. I would do like say hello, you know what I mean? But really in the back of my mind, that bubble sitting right here, like saying, yeah, you better get out of here, you know, all that kind of stuff. But my grandma used to tell me, never assume what you think the whole story is. You see what I'm saying? And I say that because sometimes
know.
people can't deal with grief. You see what I'm saying? They back away from it. I mean, your nephew died, and I feel like this. It's so comforting to have support. It's so comforting to have support. Isn't it so hurtful when you think people don't support you when you need them the most? You know what I mean? Don't you feel like you've been neglected and you feel like, gosh, I don't have that kind of trait. I always been like this to them and this and them. But sometimes people can't handle grief. And I learned this like when my grandmom died, my aunt died, that some people never even approach me. And let me tell you, to me, they approached me like 5 years later. Because you know what they told me? They didn't know what to say to me. They didn't know what to say to me because they knew that I was devastated. You know what I mean? Devastated. But you never know what that friend may bring. I don't know. That just came on my heart. Then again, she may be somebody who just ain't no good. You know what I mean? But you played it right. You played it right because you spoke. You wasn't like not cordial. You know what I mean? You spoke and everything like that. Time will tell what she really is about. If she never ever comes to you, and now that you've seen her, if she never comes to you, then you already know you were right. You were right.
Well, I think also too the backdrop is it's been someone who I didn't feel like has been a good friend over the years. And when my
Okay.
father passed, they were
Yes,
super
exactly.
supportive. And so I guess I was thinking, they would
You
be
could
able
be
to
supportive
but
over here.
also in between those, my father passed and my nephew passed, and there was things happening where I'm like, is this my friend? Frenemy type of vibes I was getting. So I was
You don't need to
already
say. You
kind
don't
of
need to
like,
say no more. No,
We
you
had
don't need
that
to say no
podcast.
more because you already saw the red flags with that person. Then
Yeah.
you
And
already
then,
know.
and then not only that, but we have the saying, kill them with kindness. But I think that the saying should actually be kill them with niceness, because kindness is actually truth.
mm,
See, kindness don't always feel good. Niceness
mhm,
always feels good.
mhm.
Kindness doesn't. Kindness is the truth. But what you found is that you aren't at the place yet to give them the truth about how you feel.
Well, I do want to say this, that I was at an event recently where all of y'all were there and it felt so good. So I love y'all.
I love you too. Oh, that was so sweet, girl.
Yes, we love you too.
That was sweet.
Down,
Okay.
girl.
Don't need to
And-
hold on any longer. Guess what?
And it
This was a-
addressed any of the issues that we just recently talked about, like in the last 5 minutes. So I just love y'all. So anyway,
I love you too. I love.
And what about you? What about you, Mel?
I think that I hold a lot of stuff in, but then I go snap. Okay, y'all already know that. But I'm gonna sit there and be like taking pictures on the side, but then I'm gonna act crazy at the end. So, but yeah, I'm just gonna deal with it, and I temper things down, but I learned that I need to do that because I'm real crazy right away.
Okay.
Y'all already know.
When you say temper things down, I have really learned to adopt that because I was just too much of a fireball, and it's not good for your health. I'll just say that much. It's not good for your health. But I was such a fireball that it didn't take much for me to jump bad, and I just know that it's not worth it no more. If you don't want to be friends with me, don't be friends.
Don't.
Yes.
And I think
Do
one of
not.
the topics we had on the list too was about substance abuse.
Yes.
Like, is that a deal breaker? Is substance
Hell
abuse?
yeah, that's
Oh,
a deal
yeah.
breaker.
Oh,
Because you're not gonna steal my
absolutely.
TV. I'm gonna tell you that much. You're not gonna steal my TV, and I like
But
looking at
everybody
TV.
don't steal. You got your functioning addicts, and all of them, they don't steal. They go to
It's
work.
gonna be something. Let me see. It's gonna be something.
I was dating this guy.
Something they gonna do. I'm gonna tell you that much.
Yeah, they gonna do it. You ain't
might
lying.
see-
Y'all ain't lying. But I was dating this guy recently, and I was like, are we not 14-year-old girls? Like all this texting back and forth, it was ridiculous. So the texting was a problem for me because we were talking and it was an issue. So
Yeah, I don't want nobody to text me. Pick up
It's a
the
deal
phone and
breaker.
talk. I'm just too busy for that. You know what I mean? Don't.
it's a deal breaker.
Yeah, but back to that substance abuse. I'm gonna be honest. If you smoke weed or something like that, I really don't care. You know what I mean? Just don't smoke around me because I don't like smoke.
See, I
But
think that I
Huh?
thought that, see,
Yeah,
I thought that,
I'm serious.
I thought that I was just okay. Oh, you smoke weed, it's just fine. But when I found out it was more, I was like, what in the hell?
What the
Well,
fuck?
I'm not gonna tell
I
y'all.
was like, what the
I
fuck?
was
You said
with-
what
I
the
was with
hell?
somebody-
I'm saying, look.
I was with somebody and I was very young and like my early 20s. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't know anything about drug abuse or anything like that. Nothing at all. And one day my cousin came over my house and she flipped the mattress and it was a whole bunch of little bags under the mattress. I didn't know what it was. I had to ask my dad. You know what I mean? None of these things, these smooth swings.
Oh Lord, we didn't ask Daddy what it was, Mr.
You know what I mean? I was
Austin.
so
We
young,
asked him.
acting crazy. One time threw a whole chicken at me, right? I was like, okay, you know what? I gotta like get out of this because if I tell Nate Austin, he gonna just burn the whole building down and
Go
kill everybody.
crazy.
You know what I mean? I was like, so once my dad told me, like, Kimmy, did you know he was on drugs? I said, well, what drugs? I said, I ain't never smelled no weed on him. You know what I mean? And he was just looking at me like, damn, I did not teach you this. You know, one of these looks like,
Chauncey, I'm mad at you because you didn't hear him calling me crazy names out the window.
But he called everybody crazy names.
You didn't hear that? He was like, Shorty, you know, midget.
he opened up the
and
window and he
everything.
started calling people names. I mean, I'll tell anybody, I learned majority of the stuff from the street from my dad. You know what I mean? But I did not know about that because I think like in our households and stuff like that, I think alcohol was just prevalent. You know what I mean? Everybody, and I don't care if nobody played off. Everybody had one alcoholic up in the house. Grandma, grandpapa, somebody was an alcoholic. And I hate to say
Thomas,
that.
my
I
uncle.
hate to say that, but I didn't have anybody in my immediate family that was doing drugs. So I had no idea of what was going on. But once that was brought to the forefront, I was like, yo, I don't want to go to work and you take the money out of my pocketbook, or, you know, I don't want to feel threatened like my life is in danger, you know what I mean? Because mood swings was terrible. So that's a huge deal breaker for me. Huge. Like I said, I don't have no problem with somebody smoking weed. I'm not gonna worry about that. You know, do what you want. Preferably me. I do not want smoke around me, but that's my choice. But I'm not gonna. I would never
When you
deal with
don't do
anybody
it,
that do drugs. I'm sorry.
but I see now when you don't do it and you think one thing is okay, then that's where it leads to you staying and then you make excuses and then you go through all of that. At least that was my experience. No, I wasn't familiar with it either.
Mhm.
And what I really wasn't familiar with, like I said, was the functioning junkie, right? That the person that goes to work every day, pays their bills every day. So it might be mood swings, but you're not in any type of imminent threat.
Right.
And
But why
so
weren't
that-
there deal breakers for our aunties? Why wasn't there a deal breaker for that, Kimmy?
because be-
Auntie.
because when you created a family, you created a family.
Mhm.
And there were no deal breakers in that family.
That's the truth.
Blood in, blood out.
Oh my God, don't say
Oh
that.
my God, I'm about to slice the nigga throat.
You know, I told that to my husband, right?
Every time I hear that Chauncey, I just think of mafioso. I'm just saying, like, what in the
That's where you
world?
get it. But that's where you get it from. So you mad, you better go in the back and go into that other bedroom, go to sleep.
Go in the back and so go sit down and
However
calm
long it
down.
take you or whatever. And that's
Tamika,
well,
you
and I
mad
think-
because
Look at
you know how Chauncey said that?
Tamika. Look at Tamika laughing. 'cause she
All I
know
gotta
what-
say is, Billy, you heard that. You better go in there.
Blood in, blood out, boy.
Blood in, blood out. Keith,
that ain't no
blood
threat.
in, blood out.
It ain't no threat, that's a promise.
Blood in, blood out. Keith, you better hear me.
Well, because when you've done it before, I'm like, I can't do this again. You know what I mean? I can't go through a divorce again. I can't. So the thing is, and I say that, Mel, because I understand now where those past generations came from. Look
Right.
how many of them, my grandmother never divorced my grandfather. She
Right.
just went down south and left him down there.
Right. Just be like, this is it. Boo, that's where you going.
She came up north and
I
started a
mean,
whole
where Chauncey went to? She be like, she in the South.
She left and she started a whole new life, got her job, left her kids for a
I know
little
that's
while,
right.
went back, got her kids, brought them here, and left her husband. But when he died and all of that, she went back down south, made sure he was buried and took care of him and everything. So I say that to say that
Man, I tell
that was
you,
their mind.
God, I'd be like, where Chauncey at? Remember that girl that used to live right here
So,
in the next door
and,
house?
and I'm gonna use the words that she used. I went to see that white man. That was the lawyer. No, the lawyer down south. I went to see
Yeah.
that white man, and he told me what I could do and what I had available to me, and those were the choices that she made. But she
Make
didn't
me
get
so sick, girl. You ain't lying. I heard you.
Well,
So,
I think
but
this
a
was
lot
a,
of
I
them
think
did
this was a really good episode, y'all, because we going extended, man, to make a part 2.
I know we doing it. We doing.
I know this was a good episode. This was a really good episode. But Tamika, we ain't letting you off the hook that quick because you ain't get to put in your last words.
Put it up, boo.
My last words, I don't know. I have a lot to think about. I gotta rethink my whole friendship deal breaker thing. I'm learning to, walk in grace. And as you said, I'm just learning to look at the whole picture. Because I can be in my feelings. So I'm
And look
learning.
at it if you know it. If you don't know it, you still can only operate from what you have.
Right. And I
Mhm.
think it just boils down to being true to yourself. A lot of times you already know what it is. Because you know what I'm learning? I keep people around because of tradition. You grew up with them, you went to church with them, and it's like if I could let them people go, that would cut a lot of the trying to figure out what's a deal breaker or not. Because your true friends that you've had for a while, it ain't no deal breaker. You may have a disagreement, you may
Right.
blah, blah, blah.
Right.
So for the most part, I'm down to a core group of true friends. So I don't even think they would do anything to break the deal. I think where I be feeling some type of way is I keep people around for tradition's sake. And it's time to have the gift of goodbye.
The
Goodbye.
gift, goodbye.
One gift of goodbye. All right.
That's a
now.
good
Yeah.
You
one.
know what? Do them like they do when we on the airplane. Bye-bye. Goodbye. Thanks for flying. Bye-bye.
I can even
So
do
Mel,
it.
what
Give
is
you
your
service
what
with
is your
smile.
final thought, Mel?
I really feel like, you know what, my deal breaker is this. Like, I agree with her and I agree with Chauncey. I just feel like, we got to learn how to just be like, bye-bye. Thank you for playing. Goodbye. I learned a lesson and it was a good situation. So, no, goodbye.
Chauncey?
I think that I have learned thus far that deal breakers change over time.
Mhm.
And
That's
so
so
what I
true.
might not
That's
have
true.
put up with before, I might be more willing to put up with now, and vice versa. But my one true and true is still the same. And I now realize that that same deal breaker would be for friendships as well, because I just don't do violence
I'm
in,
sick of you, Chauncey.
in any kind of
I love it. I'm sick of you.
in just any kind of way whatsoever. I now see that it's the whole violence thing. And no, I just
You're
don't,
right.
I don't do it. I don't mess with it. I don't want to be around it. And the only person I could play fight with was my brother, and it was truly
Right.
playing, and we wrestled and stuff like that. But I can't do that with my man because somebody gonna hit somebody too hard.
That's
Ooh.
why the police gonna be coming.
And so then now it's just like, whatever. But yeah, I have learned that it has changed over time and it might change again.
So, Kimmy, what do you think? I mean, to wrap this up, what do you think?
I think that I'm going back to what Chauncey used to always say, she still says, you gotta know your circle. When you know your circle,
Absolutely.
I doubt if you have any deal breakers, you know what I mean? Because the people that are in your circle are very trustworthy, you know what I mean?
Yes.
You guys are, you have a friendship, a relationship, and a sisterhood or a brotherhood or whatever. And at this point, especially this point in our life, I think we have filtrated out the undesirables or the ones that have ulterior motives. So I think this is a really good episode for people who maybe just really starting out in life, you know what I mean? Or people who struggle in life with
Right.
connecting with other people, because sometimes you just gotta self-identify yourself, you know what I mean? Because half of the time we are our own enemy, you know what I mean?
Yes.
People collecting the trash and want to keep it, you know, and that's half of the problem. That is half of the problem. But once you know your worth and that you're not gonna tolerate stuff, you get a whole different perspective on who's your circle now, and a whole different group of people, you know what I mean? And I say you get to mature them, you're gonna get those, it's gonna be all different varieties of people, but nobody's gonna get to the point where you gotta be side-eyeing them. You know what I mean? What they really up to, you know? That's how I feel about it. Great, great episode, guys.
That's
Really, I love
Love
it.
you guys.
If you got here and here in your circle, within your circle, you should be right in the middle.
Right in the
You got
middle.
Okay, I
some
hear that.
you, and you got some doing not so. But if you at the top of your circle or your friends list, then you need a new set of friends, and you need
Yep.
to be in the middle. So iron sharpen iron, right? And so we
That's
all
Jay
making
saying.
we all making each other better, right? And
Mhm.
so we're not perfect. I love what Kimmy said before about we all fall short, right?
Yep.
If your circle is tight and someone disappoints you, then as Tamika said, there should be enough room for grace.
Yep.
Enough room for
And
grace.
then, yeah, enough room for
And
grace.
growth. Enough room for grace and growth.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Gotta make sure there's grace and growth.
I said that's probably one of my favorite words I always say, because I say that when I pray. You know what I mean? God's grace and mercy on anything is always a solution. It's always a
Not-
solution.
And where grace is given, it must be received.
It must be
So
received.
that
Must
is
be
real
received.
simple.
You're the first lady in the church. What happened? What we doing?
Who the first lady in the church?
I
All
just
right,
need to make
y'all.
sure I understand what's going on.
Really good episode, guys. So joining me on the porch tonight is
Ramel.
Tamika.
I'm Chauncey.
and I'm your girl Kimmy. And join us every Wednesday when we drop a new episode. You can check us out on our social media pages: Facebook, Instagram, now TikTok, and on Twitter. So everyone have a wonderful week on purpose, and we'll see you next Thursday. No, next Wednesday. What the crap?
Wednesday. What you talking about?
Because today is what day? Wednesday. What day is it? Next Wednesday. We'll see you guys.
I love you guys. It's always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure. All right. Good night.
Night.